I'm starting with the Times Ireland this morning. The headline is World Rugby wants league for women. Games leaders to discuss Nations Championship. Brett Gosper, the Chief Executive of World Rugby, says there could be a Women's Nations Championship for the men's concept is given the thumbs up. And a picture of Niki Lauda on the back there. Refs take the high road. The head-high challenge comes under scrutiny is their GAA story. And Leinster opens pathway. Clubs see way to the top table, writes Ger Siggins. And obviously the news broke yesterday that the Times Ireland edition will cease publication in the coming weeks. So we just wanted to send on our best wishes to everybody who's been involved in putting that paper together, because it's been a staple of our newspaper conversation every morning, and in particular the sports section was excellent. They had a load of really good writers, people who've put years and years together of an excellent career, who were finally been given the opportunity to lead and had seized that opportunity with both hands and were doing great stuff. So our mornings will definitely be lesser for the loss of the Times Ireland edition. 100%.
Brilliant pieces. One of the first papers we go to every morning. It's going to be a huge loss, certainly, to what we do every morning. I'm going to move on and look at a couple of the other papers. I'm going to start with The Sun. And one of the stories that is across most of the back pages this morning is Henrikh Mkhitaryan and the fact that he is not going to travel to Baku for the Europa League final. Baku Lash is the headline here. And it's Lauren Koscielny's quotes. He blasts UEFA after safety worries KO Mickey, and he was speaking on 5 Live last night, saying it's not okay really that this has happened, and I'd kind of be on his side on that one. You've also got Mick McCarthy saying, I won't just stick him in. This is with regards to Luke Connell, and bravest of the brave. This is the tribute to Niki Lauda as well on the back page of The Sun. Also, actually, I should say, the Hea Snubs United deal. This is an exclusive by Mike McGrath. He's turned down a final contract offer from Manchester United. They've failed to meet his market value of £350,000 a week that Paris Saint-Germain are prepared to give him. They could come in with a £60 million bid very shortly indeed.
The back page of The Guardian this morning is Niki Lauda. He was a man without a scintilla of narcissism, a competitor at every level all his life. That's Richard Williams remembering the Formula 1 legend. Completely unacceptable Arsenal fury after Mkhitaryan is forced to miss Europa final, and Pulisic makes clear his desire to win trophies with Chelsea. So suddenly people are talking about the Europa League and not for the Europa League final, not for the right reasons.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's hardly surprising that Baku is the place where UEFA will bring their flagship event, but it's kind of depressing at the same time, everything that's come out of it. The Irish Times leads with Darragh O'Shea's column, Dublin need a new way to get better to win famous 5. He talks about kind of the freshness in a panel that Jim Gavin brings in every year, which is one of the key components. He said he was sick of the sight of some of his teammates over the years, and that might have been the case with other teams that were going for 5 in a row. Not the case with this Dublin team, he reckons.
The back of the Irish Daily Mail this morning, and it is Arsenal rage, safety fears rule Mkhitaryan out of Europa League final. And then Mick, I won't play Luca just to thwart England. Mick McCarthy won't give teenager Luke Connell game time in the upcoming Euro 2020 qualifiers just to thwart England. The Bolton Wanderers midfielder who qualifies for Ireland through his Irish grandmother is also on the radar of the English FA. Have we heard about this before? Has there ever been a situation like this before? Have we decided? So I don't know. Give him a cap or don't give him a cap. Don't bring him in. What's the point in this, being a little bit pregnant? You can't be a little bit pregnant. You're either Irish or English. And if you're Irish, give him a cap and end the conversation. If he's not, then don't call him in.
Yeah, exactly. I think so. What's the point of having him in around the squad if he's going to play for England eventually? The back page of the Irish Daily Star is an exclusive by Paul Lennon. €350,000 final hit for FAI. So the showcase is a huge strain on association funds. It's a good one. Basically, the final played at the Aviva Stadium every year because of the prize money, because of the cost of renting out the Aviva Stadium, because of the cost of corporate events around it. They've been left with a staggering €350,000 loss on the event. So it'll be interesting to see how they react to that, whether or not it's still worth it, or maybe to the extent. You look at the attendance last year, 30,400 people showed up for the Cup final.
So as a marketing event, is 350 grand for your showpiece, is that kind of okay? What's the association's turnover? What was the figure? Was it 40 or 60 million, whatever it was? Is 350 grand an acceptable amount for that? Does that include the prize money?
Yes, the deficit does, because then it cites that in the piece.
So then the prize money isn't associated with the final?
It's the entire cost of staging the game, including the rent of the Aviva, all policing and stewarding needs, the prize money to the finalists, all corporate events surrounding the match, and a range of other items.
Prize money to the finalists isn't specific to the Aviva either, is it? So it's just the cost of running the FAI Cup is... just...
drop in the ocean.
Tournaments cost money. You could package that nicely to a sponsor and say, this is the value of this is the price of this, and we're getting 30,000 and you can activate around it. And I mean, maybe that's exactly what the sponsor does, and maybe that's covered. How much is covered by the sponsorship? Or, it's interesting these figures are starting to come out, isn't it? That like the sources within the FAI are starting to put stories out about what's happening.
Yeah, like the prize money thing has been kind of one of the things that's been spoken about quite a bit, especially when it comes to the League of Ireland over the past few years, that the prize money of winning, say, the league just isn't a whole pile at all. So I'm not sure if that's going to be the reduction that they look for here. Like if that's the cost of your flagship tournament, which is the FAI Cup, then like it's not a whole pile, but like these things, as you say, do cost money. I am a little bit surprised by the figure, just given the attendance. Like I thought, grand, you get 30,000, you should break even, but clearly that was misjudged.
Nicky Lauda, thank you for being a bright light in my life, says Lewis Hamilton on the front of the Telegraph Sports section. And Owen Morgan says, we can be heroes. Morgan believes his England team could become idols for a new generation of supporters. You know, we give you Owen Morgan, we'll take Luca Connell. It's a fair trade, right?
Yeah, 100%. The Racing Post is Curra all set for Darren Hot showdown. Gosling change of plan puts Darren contention for huge Irish 2000 Guineas clash with Magna Gracia. And the back page of the Racing Post is under threat. Wallace can launch staunch title defence, but rivals offer better value. And Dan Chelsea writing that Lampard is 4-5 to be the next Chelsea boss.
There you go.
He called us.
There you go. So the front of the Examiner this morning, Code Red, Donald Lenihan and Munster's urgent need for fresh thinking. We'll talk about this with Ron Nogara, but the crisis, I mean, it is a crisis. People saying, no, it's not really a crisis. You'll reach the semi-final, 2 competitions. What more do you want from a team? You just want them not to waste the best players' careers, best years. Derby preference, Epsom Dragonets likely destination, says O'Brien. No cabin fears for McCarthy. McCarthy's got his team for a long period of time between now and the 2 competitive games. Nicky Lauda's bravery placed him amongst the greats of sport, and Powter may yet see Cork action this summer is the story about the
footballer Sean Powter, I'd imagine.
Yeah, Ronan McCarthy is answering questions yesterday. And have we seen that much of... We haven't seen anything of Cork yet. They're playing this weekend, are they?
I think they are, yeah. We haven't seen them play yet. No, you had the Clare Waterford match and you had the Tipperary Limerick match. Obviously, yeah, Cork yet to play.
Carry out next weekend or this weekend?
The bank holiday, yeah. So it's I'm not sure if it's the same weekend or not. Shows how much into the Munster Provincial Championship we are. Back page of the Herald is Mac saying, I won't try my Luca, Irish boss in no hurry to tie Connell to green shirt. And then the big rugby story of the morning. Rob looks to France as IRFU offer well below the mark. This is Des Berry's story saying that Rob Kearney is seriously considering offers from 2 unnamed French clubs as the IRFU's contract offer is well below expectations. So Kearney's manager Dave McHugh is quoted in the piece. He says, we had hoped to have reached a conclusion by now. The discussion is live and open, but it has led to us to check other options. The IRFU has made Rob an offer, but if I'm honest, it is well below where it needs to be, well below. It has been a little protracted. We are struggling to get to a point where it makes sense for him. So he's understood to be on around 450 grand a year. You'd imagine then that the offer coming from the IRFU is much less than that at the moment. So Rob Kearney looking for options abroad.
Best of luck in France, Chieftain. Been a pleasure, says Sean O'Brien on his Instagram a couple of weeks back. Best of luck in France. And now, who's that Chieftain? Oh, it's Rob Kearney. So Sean O'Brien, obviously breaking news there. That's at the is that at the Europa players? It looks they're all in their black tie anyway. So we'd heard Japan was an option at one point.
Yeah,
I would definitely go to Japan for a year.
100%.
Picking up like mad money.
And like I actually hadn't. I think you were kind of going through that story while I was away. Was that a Tokyo-based club? Is this?
No, actually, it was just didn't get that far in the rumour mill. I don't know if it was a real option or not, but like,
what an opportunity to further yourself as an individual as well, to actually go and live in a vastly different society. Like France would be great. I think if any player has the option to A, still be playing at Rob Kearney's age, but B, be good enough to actually play in France or as far flung as Japan, France, I think you kind of have to go and do it.
France, I'd need to be going somewhere nice in France. I need to be going to the south of France.
Where are the non-nice places that they play rugby in France?
There's a lot of industrial, like a lot of just industrial towns that aren't the pretty French villages with the town squares and croissants. It's like, France is overrated.
Do you think so?
Yeah, definitely. Large parts of France are meh.
I would say that there'd be far more footballing centres that would be overrated in France.
Give me Italy or Spain any day. But obviously there's nowhere to play rugby. So.
Well, you could go to Zebre or Treviso. himself and Ian Keatley could get on the plane together. Start a little Irish fraternity.
I don't know what those two places are like. I'd like to go and have a little wander around and see. This is actually quite nice.
It could be the flip side of French rugby, where the Italian rugby is actually just played in industrial towns.
Yeah.
And it's actually Italian football you want to be playing.
Offaly chief Byrne hits out at faceless critics. Critics with no face. He's been watching a lot of Game of Thrones. A man is what? A man is not what? What would?
Man is no one.
Yeah, give me some good faceless man stuff here.
Well, I was going to say that he's obviously a big fan of Bravos. He's travelled over the seas. He's completed his training and has come back to recognise that there are some people who can change their face and can indeed go faceless. So clearly, there's a lot of Offaly pundits who'd be able to hide from a few White Walkers.
Offaly chairman Tommy Byrne has taken aim at faceless people who never do anything for Offaly GAA in the wake of reaction to Kevin Martin's sacking as faithful hurling boss. Everyone's entitled to be nominated for this position. He means his own job. If they're not happy with what I'm doing, it's open to them for a club to nominate them and let them run against me. When we replaced Stephen Wallace last year, the very same people commented and haven't said a word since. If we did the opposite, we'd get the same criticism. If we did nothing, we'd be wrong, and if we do something, we'd be wrong too. Some of them are never there when you need something done for Offaly GAA. Name names. Come on. You're on the verge of there, Tommy. Spit it out. I'm down in the faithful field getting ready to meet the new management tonight to prepare for the next 2 games. I'm getting on with it. So, in the long, great tradition of GAA County Board Chairman getting on with it, come on, Tommy, you're taking no prisoners there. And then Kearney eyes France move as contract talk stall, which is David Kelly's story, which is exactly the same quotes that you had a little bit earlier on. And then no Connell cap plan, says McCarthy.
Final paper for me is The Mirror, and they go big on the Henrikh Mkhitaryan story. This hurts so much, says John Cross. Gunners star an agonising decision to miss Euro final over safety fears. And City are a wrecking ball. Manchester City stand accused of ruining sport in an astonishing attack by European football power brokers. So it's the Liga president, Javier Tebas, which insists that Pep Guardiola City must be banned from the Champions League. He talks about a few other Premier League clubs as well.
The Liga president?
Yeah. Not happy with... I'm pretty sure he's spoken about this before, the growing influence and the growing monetary power of the Premier League sides in European football.
Let's just spitball for a minute. What do you think is going to happen?
I don't think Manchester City are going to be banned from the Champions League. Like, would UEFA not be... If UEFA are looking after their own interests, what is more important to them? Is it the integrity of financial fair play, which is a fairly kind of... We've seen it. It's something that doesn't have a whole pile of definition around it, or is it to make sure that Manchester City are playing in its Premier competition next year?
In the background, all the time, the clubs are talking about a breakaway European Super League, which would remove them from the auspices of UEFA.
Yeah.
And if they
alienate one club.
But here's the thing: if they don't alienate that club, and all the other clubs are like, you have to get rid of them, do the other clubs go and use this as their excuse? It's a bit of a sticky wicket for UEFA, right? Because obviously either decision can lead very quickly to a hastening of what they don't want. If you ban them, then the other clubs look around and go, well, you shouldn't be able to ban one of us. That's not right.
Is Manchester City not part of this breakaway league, though?
You presume at some level they're all competing and they're all trying to form a cartel. So it's an interesting little scenario. I don't know what's going to happen.
I think if this is bad news for Manchester City, this is bad news for everybody else around Europe as well. They just don't know it yet. Like, this is all well and good, the La Liga grandstanding, but really, if Manchester City can get away with this, you can be sure and certain there's got to be people around Europe thinking to themselves, how can we also manoeuvre our funds?
So you have to ban them, right?
Well, it is the correct thing to do. With the information we have, it is the correct thing to do. But whether or not UEFA will actually follow through in this, or whether or not they'll have enough evidence at the end to actually
maybe they have to do it. Maybe they have to ban them to have any...
Who's holding them to account?
Credibility. Who's holding Man City to account?
UEFA to account in terms of actually making the correct decision here. If UEFA decide that they would rather have Manchester City as part of their Premier competition next year.
I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens. So we'll obviously keep you up to date on that as the story unfolds. It's 7:51 this morning. You're watching us on youtube.com/offtheball, or else you're listening to us on offtheball.com. And however you are consuming us this morning, you're very welcome along. Great show still to come for you. We've got Ron Nagara coming your way a little bit later on. Kieran Donnelly's going to join us in studio and rip up the championship format, give us his own. He's come with a full selection of a full round of fixtures the whole way through to the All-Ireland semi-final and final stage, and we'll show you exactly what we're missing out on by not having a tiered championship. That's all coming your way in a couple of minutes. First though, let's tell you what's been catching our attention online over the last couple of days. Our first one here is a film from Chile. What's the story with this?
Alexis Sanchez
is a movie star.
Is a movie star. You could say that he's such a great actor. He's managed to make his way into the Manchester United squad continually. And
Mi Amigo Alexis is a film which is out on the 30th of May in Chile. It's kind of like Searching for Eric, but for kids and badly timed. Have a look.
Cabro chico, ¿qué hacía en mi auto aquí?
Alexis.
¿Y tu nombre?
Héctor Armando Rojas Méndez, mi papá se llama Héctor Rojas, mi mamá Adriana Méndez y mi hermana Gloria Rojas Méndez viene pasaje de Rapón 1745 interior B sin timbre. Alexis Juan, alguna.
Sin poder volar, sé que llegará donde quiera ser.
Venga, topo.
Solo hay que
When did he make this?
I actually don't know. It could have been last year during
The injuries.
Potentially.
So he's pretty healthy.
I've been trying to find like the synopsis of the movie. IMDb didn't actually provide one, nor did it provide a rating. I do know it's out in all good Chilean cinemas tomorrow week if anybody's interested in going to see it. But like, what is the plot of this from the trailer? Like, the one thing that really stuck out to me was that rather grim scene of that boy's dad lying faced up in the centre circle of a football pitch. Wondered, did he meet a grisly end and sort of somehow poetically manage to fall right in the centre circle?
No.
I don't know. I don't want to give away spoilers on Mi Amigo,
Jesus.
but it certainly seems to me that that happens.
Yeah, I presume this exact same plot as every other movie where a famous footballer meets young boy and changes his life through the virtue of football.
Yeah.
That's how it works, Eoin. Have you not been paying attention to every single sports movie?
Well, it's unless it's one with a big twist, unless like the Chilean George R.R. Martin has actually written this, and it's like Alexis Sanchez is actually a villain.
We found a blurb, sorry. Tito is 12 years old, which is a bit, normally it's like an 8-year-old. But anyway, Tito is 12 years old. He's mad for soccer, football, and by an accident, he fulfills the dream of any child to know his idol, Alexis Sanchez. The unexpected friendship between the child and the idol brings teachings for both. Tito discovers his true path in life, and Alexis is reunited with the stories of his childhood that make him remember the reasons why he loved football. Not the money. He doesn't love football for the money anymore. He loves it because of Tito and, you know, his inner child.
It's a
Beautiful thing. Man United fans are delighted. They're like, oh, we've got our Alexis back. They're thinking as they see this movie.
He's got it all, Alexis, doesn't he?
He's got
the
it
football
all.
skills. He's got the piano skills. He's got the acting skills. There was something I don't understand the language too much, but there was some mention of an Oscar near the start there.
What was that? I was like, what? Was there? Is this like? Can you just do that?
Can you just like submit it for an Oscar?
The Oscar-winning breakfast internet TV show.
Well,
That's
yeah.
how we are. We stick the Oscar logo up every morning.
We submitted the application. The post didn't make it there, but there was still Oscar submitted, and that's the thing that matters.
So, Eoin, let me put this to you. After a successful weekend of swiping left or right, or whatever it is you do in your social life to, you know, have your kicks, Netflix and chill on a Sunday afternoon, and I just got to put this on for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. The key though is to like watch it 5 times beforehand and, you know, translate it live.
Oh yeah.
Extremely impressive.
Wow. But there's subtitles.
I can't. I just turn off the subtitles. It's like, actually, I'm a man of the world.
Wow. You know how to show a lady a good time. What are we doing next?
We are we had to look at, you know, the greatest sub-genre of Gaelic games and sport as a whole, really, which is animals on the pitch. We had that kind of, I want to say, a gutsy doggo on the pitch in Breffni Park on Saturday night, a dog who entered the pitch of his own volition and exited the pitch of his own volition and said to himself, I've had enough fun, I'm leaving. And I thought it was right up there in the pantheon of great dogs that have appeared on Gaelic Games pitches. Got us thinking about previous ones. Pierce Stadium in 2006, when the international rules game was being played there, featured this fella standing for the national anthem alongside the players. Now, this was kind of like an in-joke. He was actually thrown onto the pitch at one point because of a previous dog's appearance in the international rules, which we'll get to in a moment. You can also see the dog here in action in the actual match. Or actually, no, sorry, that's him just being pulled away by the scruff of the neck, getting him off the pitch. It's always hard to know like what the referee does in a situation like this as you wait for the ball to kind of be in an unthreatening place in the pitch and just allow the stewards to come in and take the dog away. Is there a designated dog handler in a situation like this? The 2004 international rules is what started this because we had this fella who was one of, I actually want to go out of my way, I don't like hyperbole as you well know, but I want to say this is the greatest dog that's ever appeared on the Croke Park pitch. This fella really tried to get involved with the game, and the Australian commentators on the day just could not believe what they were seeing.
3 points Australia. There's a dog on the ground. It's got everything. There's a dog out on the ground as well. Can you believe this? Wow, Marty, what else is going to happen here today?
Well, I'm not too sure it is.
All we need is a streaker, will be right. Have a look at the dog dashing along. Moving beautifully.
The dog must be from Ireland because he's chasing an Australian footballer.
He's run out to bite Nick Del Santo. Using his soccer skills on the boundary line. Keeps it in play. The dog gets in amongst it now. Have a look at this. It's like a circus out there. The dog's been the best defender for Ireland so far in this game. Australian ball. Somebody get the dog off, for God's sake. It came off the dog. It should be an Australian ball.
The dog is one of the fastest movers on the pitch. Look at this. He didn't want to let the ball go. Wherever the ball is, we'll find his dog. And they just can't seem to catch it. Now,
Hooray!
we have him.
Well, there you go. So Ireland are one short now.
Back in the day when there were great crowds, the international rules.
Yeah, it's you can almost hear the Celtic Tiger dripping off the commentary right there.
Ah, no, it's 04, did you say?
That was 04. Yeah, 06 was the previous one. It was the first one we showed. Like an Australian commentator just makes everything better.
It's true, isn't it? It's kind of, one of the few times in your life you felt that Marty was intimidated in the commentary box.
Yeah, like they just could not believe what was going on. It was it's also a great achievement for any dog to get onto the pitch in Croke Park. Like, how does that even happen? Like, if a dog can sneak in there, surely any human being could do it.
It's pretty easy, isn't it? Like, the entrance where all the buses come in. Mm-hmm. Like, I think you can, there's not a lot of security between there and the pitch, really. Mm. Like,
yeah, you definitely have to come in that entrance. Like, the dog obviously went on a recce a couple of days beforehand, sussed out how he would get in.
The Ballybox side.
Yeah.
Up around, down Jones's Road. Sneaking in with the buses.
Yeah, sneaking in with any of the staff, really, would be a good idea.
Back at the Hogan stand.
Perhaps went in a couple of days early, just to actually set up shop.
Dropping piss here. It's like, breadcrumbs for the Hansel and Gretel children.
Yeah, you could see, actually, if you watch that video back, some of the players start to get actually annoyed with the dog. Like, Brian Cullen looks particularly angry, which is kind of funny.
Did we win those games? Does anybody remember?
2004, I can't remember. 2006, we all remember.
2006, you won the box? So you won the box?
Exactly.
No.
It was. Yeah. So the first leg was in Pearse Stadium, and then the second leg was in Croke Park. So 2004, I can't quite remember. I want to say we won in 2004. While you're googling that, let's have a look at another good boy, an enthusiastic one in Dublin versus Donegal. This is. God, I want to say 2004, 2005 direction as well. Maybe a little bit later, actually, because
Conor Kearney.
Because you got Conor Kearney there. And here's another angle of it. That's like the biggest dog we've got here of all the animals that have appeared on the pitch. Let's move on then to the Ulster Football Championship in minors. This is in Monaghan in 2004. An umpire doing his main role, which is to grab the dog that gets onto the pitch and walk him off. And then we've got Sean O'Halpine, who is... Oh, this is a different one. This is...
I was going to say.
Not Sean O'Halpine. Let's move on to Sean O in the 2005 Alliance League. I'd imagine that dog didn't last too long before Sean Oak spotted it and got rid of it. Here's one from a Wexford Meath game about 10 years ago at this point. That was actually the one we just shown there, the Shane McInerney of Meath catching a dog.
They're always terriers.
Always. Unless it's like the same family who kind of it's like the mafia of dogs, whose sole role is to get onto the pitch. It's like I don't know. It's what they do. Obviously, the one in that game up in Monaghan was a little bit different. In the hurling, then there's been a couple of other ones. There's one from 2000 here. I think it's Limerick Galway. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, here we are. This the one thing that actually sticks out to me is that I was looking at this photo and I was like, what is this? 1988, 89? And I was like, this is 2000. It's amazing how it's changed. This one, the lads obviously just getting on with it, as they did in Breffni Park at the weekend. And it's not just been dogs, and it's not just been the GAA. We also had a cat in Leinster Toulon a couple of years ago. I'm not sure if you recall. There he is, 2015. And one of the more memorable ones from a Leinster game was a fox on the pitch at the RDS in 2013.
Oh, wow.
I wonder where that fox is now.
Probably dead.
Probably dead.